Hey YouTubers, so I'll give you a little daily dose of drive. Somebody to ask on Vintage Van Life's channel, what do we do for entertainment out here in Arizona and courtside when we're out at our LTVA sites or we're out on BLM land? What's our entertainment like? So I'm going to give you guys a little walkthrough of what my setup is, and what I do for local entertainment here at my campsite, and then what I do for entertainment around courtside. I'll let you guys know. Every day is something different. Every day there's something to do. So forgive the wind because, of course, every time you go to film, the wind's got to pick up out here. So let me go ahead and get you guys flung around here. And the first thing we've got for entertainment is we've got the laptop. So I've got a laptop here. I don't remember the specs on it, but it's a little MSI laptop, pretty high quality, and I play Oblivion on it, and something of pirates. I can't remember the name of the game. It's not Paradise of Pirates. It's a simulator. You got to build your fleet up and build your island, make sure you're managing your island properly, and then we've got the TV here. And sometimes I run the laptop to the TV because I need a bigger screen. Or I am playing, excuse my shelf and all my pots and pans, I'm playing the Xbox. So, Xbox, I've got a couple different games, Mad Max, and I've got childish game called Biomutant. I think that's the funnest game ever. It's a little, your character changes as you play, so I think that's kind of cool. And then Mafia 3 is a fun game I've been playing a lot lately, just because of all the glitches. Just because it glitches out and does some weird stuff, and I just get a laugh when somebody's face turns inside out and they start speaking to you. So you guys give me just 1 second because we film raw, live, non-stop. Let me get out of the wind here. So on that, you want to know how I run those things. I have an EcoFlow Delta 2. It's a 1600 watt one, so you guys can look up the specs for that. It puts out 2000 watt max output, but its capacity is only 1600 watts. So I pull 200 watts when I'm playing the Xbox and TV, 400 watts if I'm playing the laptop. So I power that off of two big solar panels equaling 500 watts. So that's, each panel is 250. I use those, those don't pull 500. They, nice super sunny day, I will get about 435. And that's optimizing them. That's putting them in the right spot, the right angle for the sun. And I just heard it beep and turn on just now. So that thing doesn't pull in what they say, what you say, hey, I have 2,000 watts of solar. If you've got them flat, you're bringing in 1,000 watts. If you've got them optimized, you're bringing in 17 and 1900, depending on their quality. So when these people give you these high numbers on solar, they're not bringing in that high number mark. It varies, and it varies on the variable. Confusing word set up there. So yeah, remember, solars run on multi-variables. You're not going to get the power that you think you're going to get. Today, I'm pulling in 300 watts. And just because it's an overcast day. So when I'm not sitting here at camp, playing the Xbox, playing the laptop, or my other thing I like to do is I like cooking. So I will sit out here and I will cook me I try to do 2 decent meals a day. So I will do a pretty decent lunch and a decent dinner. So I've been on this kick lately of like wraps And like, I don't do Philly cheese steak, I do chicken Philly cheesesteak. Because I have high cholesterol, and I don't know, I probably should stay on a meat diet and see if that cholesterol will go away, but I have to maintain a certain cholesterol diet. So red meats and stuff like that, they tell me I'm not supposed to be on. I'm not supposed to be eating bacon, but if I'm going to die, ladies and gentlemen, I will die happy eating my bacon every morning, or at least every other morning. When I'm not in the camper, though, I'm going to give you guys a quick run over. Excuse the wind. When I am not playing games, I am riding the motorcycle. So that's my outside of camp entertainment. And at least every day I will go out and I'll ride it to the grocery store. I'll ride it to the tent show area, because right outside where they have the tent show for the RV products, they have the what do they call it, the discount grocery. Love going there. I'll go there every other day just to see what changed, because they get different stuff in every other day. Wishing they still had Snapple, though. They don't have Snapple lately, and it's kind of peeving me off. So I go in there, grab me a case of Snapple, grabbed some macaroni one time, and found out why it was so cheap is because it wasn't elbow macaroni. It was misboxed. And so that's why it was so cheap, is because they put a macaroni that was like, I don't know, Scooby-Doo or some weird macaroni like that into an elbow macaroni box. So it was mislabeled. Instead of reboxing it, these guys bought it, resold it for cheap, because they probably bought it on 10 cents on the dollar and sold it for $1 a pack, making them 90 cents each box. So that's the discount grocery area. Love that place. I will go in there every day. If you're out here, go stop on by. Even if you're not going to buy anything, go walk in there. You might see something interesting, or they do get a lot of what's called discontinued. So big ticket items that have been discontinued all over the nation end up here. They're not expired yet. They're just discontinued. So check out that at the discount grocery. Then you've got the flea market areas. So across the road, you've got a couple different vendors, bicycle vendors, then some private sellers and stuff like that. Several different like flea market areas around here in Quartzside that you can go to. Haven't been to them all. So that was one of the things that I needed to kind of check off the box. But everything's starting to slow down now, which I'm cool with. So everything's kind of closing up, getting ready for the summer season. Because January, March, anyway, April 15th, the LTVAs close up. So April 15th, I'm pretty sure March and April, it starts to get so warm out here, nobody really wants to camp anymore, because it's not comfortable during the day, and the nighttime temperature starts to get up into the 70s. I sleep pretty well when it's 50 to 60. I sleep well when it's 70. I don't sleep well when it's 78. Once it hits 75, 76, 78, I don't sleep that well. So I will tell you guys, as soon as that nighttime temperature start, if even it creeps one day, I'm headed north. So going out, and when everybody's like, well, that's only a couple little aspects of what you guys do every day. I don't know if you guys can see this lady and or gentleman riding his bike. That's what a lot of people do for entertainment. They go riding around. I will tell you, you can drive around the LTVA looking at different rigs, different setups, different camping areas. Because up here at the North LTVA, not too many people do the rock formations. But you go down south to the south end, oh my God. Every time I went in there, I went down a different path and seen they will do some ornate crap. And I think it kind of started as, let me set up my little zone so I don't want somebody parking on my front driveway. I don't want somebody parking 5 feet away from me. So I think that's how it kind of started. But then you got some of these people that have, schoolies, bus life, van life people that, they've been doing this so long, they want something to do, they get artsy out there. Because they are, my generation was play video games. Nintendos, Xboxes, PlayStation. I'm still doing it to this day. But I'm kind of a lazy sap. Other than that, I ride the motorcycle, and like I said, driving around and looking at some of those rock formations, I was saying, I'll see some, stuff that's just blocking off the area. No, they get ornate. There is somewhere out here, and I don't remember where, somebody told me it was, the United States map is drawn. There was one where the guy has taken little rocks, and everything is like a swirls in this big round swirled rock area. So he's got his little zone of parking where he's got it marked off for like 2 little parking areas for a van and a bus, or a truck and a bus. And then the rest of it is the artwork of the rocks. So be respectful if you guys come out here. Don't mess up anybody's rock formation. Stay on the road. But if you're bored, drive around South LTVA. There are rock formations out there will blow your mind, because it didn't to me. February 15th, here in the next couple days. I know Vintage Van Life is doing his bicycle drag races, e-bike drags. If you're able to make it out to that event, get in contact with him, and he'll tell you like coordinates. But they are going to have that, and I'm going to bring out the big bike. I might not do any racing per se, maybe once or twice, but I'm going to tell you, it's a loud boy. So I'm going to make sure Brian knows as soon as I show up, because I'm going to try to show up a little early, maybe 9, 10. I'm going to tell him, hey, only a couple times with me, or that bike, because it's loud. And I think when I pull up, he'll be like, yeah, we're only going to run that once or twice, because he'll hear me coming from a mile away. I know. I hear me coming from 100 miles away. I let somebody borrow the bike. He said, hey, I need to run to the store. Can I borrow your truck? And I was like, I'll loan you the bike. And he's like, yeah. He gave me a $100 bill to hold, because I was like, well, I don't know you that well. Why, And he was like, here's $100. If I don't come back, call the cops. Took a picture of his ID. He handed me $100. He came back. I gave him his $100 back. But he was like, no, you can hold. He's like, let me give you 20. No, dude. I was like, give me $1. That'll fill the tank. What he used in gas, because he had to go run some errands and get some parts for his vehicle. I was like, dude, I'm not worried about it. So, that's the entertainment out here. Getting back to the entertainment subject is, bring your own entertainment. Bicycles, e-bikes, motorcycles. There's a lot of trails to go down. Bring a GPS if you get lost like me. I had to use mine trying to find my way out, and it didn't work very well, so, because I'm using my phone one. I actually had to figure out the power poles. I don't know if you guys are picking those up on camera, but up this way, as I scroll around, there's power poles. Those are my North Star when I'm out here. So if I get off into a area where I walk down a wash and walk through some of the wash, because it's so green this year, you walk on the other side of a wash, you might not see the other side. You can get lost like that. Walk through a wash, walk north and south a couple times, you don't know where the hell you're at. Unless the sun's either first rising or sun setting, then that's the only way you can find your bearings. Or follow the power poles. So I'm parked near them. I followed it. Well, where I got lost, I was on the other side of them. So I was like, oh, okay, I know where to go. Go the opposite of. I walked towards the power poles. I said, go the opposite of the power poles. I walked out and realized I was 100 yards north of where my east of where my truck was. So, but There's a bunch of vintage or a bunch of busted down vehicles you can go look at around here that are out in the desert. There's all kinds of stuff. There's mines near the edges of the mountains. There's several mines that you can go look at. I think even one's kind of not really a tourist trap, but somebody spent the time of putting some plaques up about what it was about and what it was, and then kind of set it up. So be respectful. Don't go out there tearing shit up, because it's an unwatched area. I think somebody goes out there and makes sure that somebody hasn't stolen all the scrap metal around there, because there is some stuff that can be considered scrap. And there's rails. I think a rail car. What do you call it? Not a coal car. A buggy or whatever that they use to get in and out of the mine, a little car, and a couple tracks for it. So if you're ever out that way, there's people that basically have lived out here that know where these things are, and there is YouTubers that will post about these things and give you a general direction. So there's always that, and every day out here is an adventure. So you might go out and say, hey, I'm gonna go and tool around today and go look at, I'm gonna go out to this monument or this mountain. Then there's a monument or mountain monument out this way on the other side of town called Dome Rock. It's an LTVA or a BLM area where you can camp, and I know some people go out there and they hike around Dome Rock. So there's a couple walking paths out there. There is a lot of exercise to be done out here. So don't be a fat kid like me, there's stuff to be done. And there's stuff to do. So every day is something different. You got your projects working on your rig, because like all us nomads know, every day there's something to be either A, maintained, or B, fixed on our rigs. And I will tell you, I am the poster child of that, because mine is self-assembled, and every day I've got to realize I've worn this thing out, and 3 or 4 months I need to repair or replace it. So that's one other thing, is you always got something to fix. It's kind of like living on a sailboat. There's always something to do, there's always something to repair, and there's always something to fix. So that's the 4 or 5 quality of life things that you can do for entertainment out here. And on that, I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about, so we're going to end it there. Like, comment, subscribe. As soon as we get 50, we hit 50 subscribers. That's what I'm pushing for. I'm trying to get 50 so we can do some live streams, because I want to try to do some live traveling where I throw you guys up on the dash and you guys can watch the miles go by, and we can chat about stuff while we drive down the road. So just remember, like, comment, subscribe. If you got a friend that's thinking about doing van life, suggest them to my channel. I'm going to continue creating content about how I live out here on the road, what I do out here. As it stands, it's going to be guerrilla tactics in filming, so it's going to be live, uncut. So if I make a mistake in the video, I'll either delete the video or I'll remake it. I've remade this one about 3 times, so remember, these are all uncut, raw, so give me a break. I'm still looking for an editing software. But like, comment, subscribe, let your friends know. Ask questions in the comment. I will answer them if it pops up and I see it. I'll check it out and I'll answer it. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time.